Bonjour, comment allez-vous? This is the Crypto Kid in his Bitcoin universe. I'm your host, the Crypto Kid, the Ganja Ambassador, Daniel Plummer, and this podcast is brought to you by Howard Blockchain TV, and it is sponsored by Addis Ababa Advanced Technologies Incorporated. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that thumbs up as well. Please leave some comments. This podcast is all about making you a more informed Bitcoin and blockchain enthusiast. So, right now we have Bitcoin influencers like Cali Muscle. He has his own Cali coin. Donald Trump has been doing meme coins. He's all in with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. He's doing podcast interviews. Um, Donald Trump's support for Bitcoin and his pro Bitcoin stance is really making uh, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency loyalists and enthusiasts very excited. As for the market, today in Bitcoin news, the market is down 1,500 points to 57,748 US dollars, as many investors fear that the U.S. dollar crisis that is coming up is going to dip the dollar. That notion is unfounded. There's no data to suggest that. There's nothing to back this notion. There is no statistical correlation between the price of Bitcoin and the price of the U.S. dollar. There's no studies, credible studies that have come out showing that the dollar moves with Bitcoin and Bitcoin moves with the dollar. So that is some faulty and phony headlines that you should ignore. In fact, if there is a US dollar crisis, as the price of the US dollar goes down, people are going to move their current investments into Bitcoin because it'll be cheaper to conduct transactions with Bitcoin than it is with a failing US dollar. So, if in fact there is a U.S. Dollar crisis, which most believe is going to happen in the next 3 months, then you should see the price of Bitcoin soar. However, even if there is a crisis in the U.S. dollar in the next 2 months, what will save the dollar is just the Christmas holidays and transactions and spending on gifts and food and transportation for the holidays. So that will temporarily lift the value of the US dollar. So between now and January 1st, 2025, there's really no need to be fearful about the economy. If anything, people should get excited of the prospect of Jerome Powell cutting the prime interest rate by a point and at the very least a half point. So this is Ethereum is down $95 to 2,447 US dollars. The market is now just in waiting. I believe it's just going to fluctuate now based upon political headlines. Kamala Harris is not going to say anything. She doesn't know anything about Bitcoin and blockchain technology. However, the Biden Harris administration, through the SEC, has been indicting a lot of Bitcoin platforms and as well as developers. So she's going to keep quiet. She's not going to let everybody know that it's very likely she's just going to continue to do that. And by saying nothing, that is a statement. That means it's very likely you're going to continue the policies that are currently occurring right now. In addition to that, Donald Trump's pro Bitcoin stance is rallying people behind him. It is believed that Donald Trump is now 20 points ahead of Kamala Harris, and Kamala will not be able to make up that 20 points regardless of what happens during the debate. Her stance is that she won't speak to the media, she won't discuss any of her policies, and maybe she thinks that by discussing nothing, there's nothing to attack. But by discussing nothing, she's putting her campaign in the hands of the media, which are the very people that she's avoiding. So why would she expect the media to support her and keep propping her up and saying positive things when she won't even give them an interview? She's given nobody an interview, and the one interview she had was a joint interview with Waltz, and she didn't say anything. She didn't discuss any policies. She just discussed things emotional trigger points of topics that are important to her, probably like protection for transgender people, um, things about women, and that's it. But she doesn't talk about, hey, this is what I'm going to do. It's wise for her not to say anything about the border because she's the one that gave the mandate to start tearing down the border wall as soon as she got into office. So if she even brings that up, it's very likely that in the debate, Donald Trump will bring that fact up that she's the one that immediately began dismantling the wall and selling it for 5 cents on the dollar. So when she does this debate, Donald Trump is going to find a way to bring up the fact that Kamala Harris is the one. Um, Kamala Harris is the one responsible for having the border wall dismantled and sold for 5 cents on the dollar. So whether she brings it up or not, it's going to be brought up. In addition to that, the U.S. job revision of 818,000 jobs. There's no way she's going to get out of that. There's no way she can spin that in a positive way. Hey, they made a mistake. Well, hey, you're the one that's been boasting that all these jobs are out there. They made a mistake. They don't exist. So what are you going to do? She's stuck either way. She is in quicksand. So with that, this is Daniel Plummer signing out. The Crypto Kid in his Bitcoin universe. And remember, the future is crypto.